what's up? It's Vince Leo from vinceleo.com, and I'm hanging out with Toni from Plant-Based on a Budget.
Hello.
So we're over here at Trader Joe's, and we're gonna look for the top vegan items that we could find on a budget. Now, if you're new here to the channel, I do a lot of videos about plant-based nutrition, including recipes, taste test videos, and shopping videos, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing. But today, we're gonna be focusing on these top vegan items. You ready, Toni?
Yes, let's go.
Let's do it. All right, so we are back from Trader Joe's, and we have a bag full of plant-based vegan items that are plant-based on a budget approved.
Yeah.
So, ready to go in for it?
I'm ready.
Let's go check them out.
First on our shopping trip was a riced cauliflower stir fry. I chose this because it is highly approved by my family, and my family eats a ton of meat and they love white rice so much. They generally eat pretty unhealthy, and I wanted to inspire them to eat more vegetables. So I showed my dad this. I bought him a ton of packs and bought him some extra firm tofu and showed him how to prepare it himself, and he's been eating it ever since. And I feel so much more comfortable with that because he before wasn't eating very many vegetables, and that's not good. So now he's eating at least this many vegetables with some extra firm tofu. He chops it up. He doesn't even do anything special to it. He chops it and throws it in there, and is done in just a few minutes. We got some Trader Joe's bananas. I first was skeptical when I heard my friend Michelle. She told me that bananas at Trader Joe's were so cheap, and I was like, yeah, but they're also cheap at every place. So I was skeptical, and then when I first started going to Trader Joe's regularly, I learned that they actually are cheap. They are sold at 19 cents per banana, and that's like 5 for $1. That's great. These black bean enchiladas have been my workday lunch forever. On days that I didn't prepare anything or that I didn't have any leftovers from the night before, I've relied on these black bean and corn enchiladas. They kind of remind me of Amy's. Amy's may be the person, or maybe the company who creates them. So if you like the Amy's one, you'll probably like these. You throw them in the microwave for just a few minutes and you have a tasty plant-based meal. They are very filling too. They look kind of small, but I can eat a really big meal, and they fill me up. So, good lunch option. If you follow my channels, you know that I love me some soy riso. I eat it probably a couple times a week, and I do various things with it. I will cut up maybe a fourth of it and put it in with some beans to make a taco filling or a burrito filling, or I'll make some sweet potatoes for breakfast and throw in a little bit of this, or maybe a marinara sauce to have a meaty texture. So there's so many things you can do with it, and this is $2.29 at Trader Joe's and lasts for at least a week. So I'll go through it in chunks at a time, adding it to different meals and stretching it with plant-based whole foods ingredients, and it's really tasty. It brings an extra flavor and texture to your food without having to think about adding all the different spices. Plus, as I mentioned before, my parents, I'm constantly trying to give them plant-based versions of the foods that they love that are healthier for them, because I want them to live forever, or for at least a lot longer than they would if they kept eating terrible, terrible food. And so this is something that they have embraced in their household. They have stopped eating chorizo and started eating soy riso, which, if you knew my parents, you would know that that is huge. I would never have expected that kind of change. So if it's meat eater approved, you know that it's good. Marinara is a staple in my household. I love making my own pizza dough, and I do all different types of things with pasta. I make lasagna, I do a regular pasta with just veggies. I put this with tofu and make a tofu ricotta, and it's just endless the things that you can do with a jar of marinara. And this jar was only $1.19, which is super cheap. If you go to the grocery store, like even Walmart, sauce like Prego is $2, so good deal, and a lot of potential in the kitchen for what you can do and the meals you can make Next on our list is vegan cream cheese, which I didn't know that Trader Joe's had until recently, and I got so excited because I love bagels. I love the Dave's Killer Bread bagels, and I put peanut butter or hummus, but to know that I can put cream cheese on it at a price that is affordable to me was very pleasing. It's about $1 cheaper at Trader Joe's than it is anywhere else, and I love it so much. I think it's really great to have vegan versions of the foods that I used to love, and for me to be able to recommend to people who are trying to make the switch over to plant-based eating. So I appreciate this, and I appreciate the price point at which it is at. We have Goddess dressing. This is a favorite by many. It's often by the brand called Annie's, and it makes everything super tasty. Trader Joe's has its own version, which is I think about $1 cheaper than the Annie's version, and it tastes exactly the same. Annie's probably makes it for them, and they do a private label. So yeah, I've learned all about private label. If a grocery store can work with a company to create the product and slap their own label on it, they usually can offer it for a lot cheaper. And I believe that that's what Trader Joe's did with this Annie's Goddess dressing.
Next, we have green jackfruit. Now, it's pretty amazing that a place like Trader Joe's is offering jackfruit, and you could do so many things with this. You can make jackfruit pulled pork, you could do jackfruit carnitas. There's tons of recipes online when using jackfruit, and it's really handy, and it gives that meat texture, especially pork. It works really well with that because it almost will, once you break away the actual jackfruit pods and you kind of shred it, it gives that feeling of shredded pork, which is why it works great in dishes where you're trying to get somebody to have something. Maybe they're not vegan, but they like meat. This is a great alternative for somebody like that. So next we have tempeh, and as many of you know, I love tempeh. I make tempeh bacon, I make tempeh stir fry, I do tempeh sausage. I'll link some of those recipes in the description box below. But Trader Joe's has a brand, it's private labeled, so I'm pretty sure I know the brand who makes this, but you can get it for a little cheaper at Trader Joe's. It's an organic 3-grain tempeh, and it's so versatile and is packed with protein. So whenever you hear people commenting about how do you get your protein or do you get enough protein on a plant-based diet, I always turn them on to tempeh and I have them look at the protein content, and they are blown away by how much protein you could actually get on something that's so small. So half of this package has 20 grams of protein. So you can easily just cut this in half and use half of it for stir fry and mix it with some other ingredients and really just have a protein packed rice bowl or salad, wherever you want, just by adding some tempeh. Next we have nutritional yeast, also known as nooch. And this is great. It gives a lot of recipes that cheesy flavor. You could use it on salads, you could use it on pastas, you can make cheese sauce. But one thing I did want to say is that recently I actually stopped eating nutritional yeast. And that's because, as many of you know, I was diagnosed with colitis, and it actually can aggravate people with Crohn's and colitis. And this is information that I just found out recently, and I think it's important for you to continually to educate yourself about different foods and how they may affect you. So as much as I love nutritional yeast, and I recommend it for people to have, it has a great source of B12, for me, I don't have it, but you should definitely go buy some. And last but not least, we have plant-based milks. Now they have both soy milk and almond milk, and they cost the same price. So if you don't want soy, you can have almonds. If you don't want almonds, you can have soy, or you can have them both. They work great when you want to have some cereal in the morning, or if you want to make a smoothie, or whatever requires any sort of milk in a recipe. Just substitute it with the plant-based milk and you're good to go. All right, so I hope you enjoyed these top items at Trader Joe's that are on a budget. Now, if you're interested in finding all the vegan items at Trader Joe's, I'll go ahead and link the video I did in the description box below, and leave us a comment. Let me know what you thought of these items, and let me know what you find at Trader Joe's on a budget. So thanks for joining me today, Toni.
Thanks for having me.
Had a blast. Make sure you follow Toni. I'll leave her YouTube channel as well as her website and all her social media in the description box below. And as always, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel as I post new videos every week, and join the Fit From Food notification squad by ringing that bell next to the subscribe button. And remember to keep living fit from food. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.